Hi, this is Pastor Teresa at Beaver Ridge United Methodist Church. Thank you for joining me this week for tea time. For the past several weeks since Easter, we have been talking about glory sightings. Those are those times where we suddenly recognize that God is in our midst. It can be in the ordinary circumstances, outside, in nature. It could be with family or friends, or even a stranger. Something that reveals to us who God is and that God is very present in our life. So for the past few Sundays, we've been taking a story of Jesus' resurrection and how he comes to meet the people where they are. We've seen the disciples and Jesus in the upper room. We've seen Mary at the garden. We have seen Thomas in the upper room coming to know and worship the Lord. And today we're going to the seashore for breakfast with Jesus. And our story can be found in John chapter 21. And I encourage you to take time to read that story this week. But after all the miracles and after the resurrection, after the doubts and the fear, what does Jesus do next after he has been with the disciples? Well, he makes them breakfast. And the story goes that Peter took some disciples out onto the seashore and they fished all night on the Sea of Galilee and came up with nothing. Jesus was patiently waiting for them on the seashore, and he had a campfire. He had a fire with some fish and some bread, waiting for this encounter, waiting to share with them who he is. He calls them ashore. And so this simple moment by the Sea of Galilee reveals something profound. Jesus cares deeply about both your soul and your humanity. He meets his disciples not in the temple or in the synagogue, but by a fire on the shore. He prepares a meal. He serves it with love, and he creates space for restoration. You know, Peter had denied Jesus 3 times on the night that he was arrested. The other disciples had scattered, and they had their own story of betrayal. Yet here they are, invited to the table, not just forgiven, but welcomed. And Jesus didn't just conquer death, he reinstates the relationship he has with them. And he does it through something as simple and as sacred as a shared meal. Resurrection life is not only spiritual, it's deeply personal. Jesus wants to restore what feels broken. He wants to nourish what feels empty. And sometimes he does it through the small moments, a meal, a conversation, an invitation to come close again. When Jesus says, "Come and have breakfast," he's saying, "Come and be restored. Come and know that you are still loved. Come and let me feed you, body and soul." May you be blessed by this story, and may you be restored, body and soul. For this is the day the Lord has made. Amen.